Traveling has always been a big part of my life. I love to explore new places. Traveling has taught me so much and allows me to experience so many new things. I'm inviting you to come on this journey with me as I tell you about some of my amazing traveling experiences. I have been traveling with my family ever since I was little. We have taken many trips to Arizona to visit my grandparents during the winter. Some of my favorite childhood memories have come from these experiences. I love the sights that Arizona has to offer. All the red rock is one of my favorite things to see while we go hiking. Arizona is one of my favorite places, but I have many more great memories in other places. I also have gone to Cancun with my family a few times. I love the warm, tropical weather, and the culture experience is really amazing. Going to the ocean will always be one of my favorite spots. Many of my memories at the ocean come from being in Hawaii with my family. I've been to Hawaii multiple times, and every time has been amazing. The weather, the culture, the food, everything is amazing in Hawaii. I love going to the luau's and enjoying amazing shows with amazing food. I love to explore, and Hawaii is great for exploring. Going snorkeling and seeing the ocean life is like seeing a whole new world. There's so many amazing animals under the sea. Going hiking and seeing the waterfalls and all the other wildlife makes you feel like you're on a whole nother planet. Seeing the volcano and the land it's created is beyond amazing. I'm very thankful for the experiences I have had traveling with my family, but my all-time greatest traveling experience came when I wasn't with them. I have been to the Czech Republic twice. This trip has changed my life in so many ways. Going to Czech was a huge step in my life. I went on this trip with my church as a mission trip. A team of us prepared for months to get ready. We went to Czech to be part of an English summer camp and teach English to students. I got to teach a sports class and talk about American sports and teach them how to play them. I made so many friends through this experience. We used teaching and bonding time to create relationships, and then eventually we moved further and tried to talk to them about faith. I'm very thankful for how I got to impact these students' lives, but also they impacted mine in so many ways. I found that I have an amazing passion for helping people. This experience was filled with so many fun times, from great food to swimming to playing sports and even pretending to be Justin Bieber. I will always remember these great times. I wish I could go deeper about the things that happened there, but that's for another story. While in Czech, I got to go sightseeing. This was amazing. Prague is one of my favorite cities. You can see the history and the culture in every direction that you look, from the St. Charles Bridge to the amazing buildings. And my favorite spot was the Prague Castle. At night, this was an amazing view. I was just in awe of the amazing architecture that was put into this castle. Exploring Prague was amazing, but there was one part of this trip that impacted me in a way that I have never been impacted before. My team and I took a side trip to Poland, and while there, we got to tour Auschwitz. This was unlike anything I have ever seen. I remember reading and seeing pictures in books during school, but that didn't even come close to impacting me the way it did when I saw it in person. Even after seeing this place in person, I still can't even come close to wrapping my mind around what happened there. but it still left a big impact on me. I remember walking through the gate that translated to "Work brings freedom." And during this time, I was thinking, man, it's really crowded around here, and why does it have to be raining? A few seconds later, I thought about what I said, and I thought, how dare I complain about the rain and it being crowded? It didn't even come close to what has happened there in real life. I remember seeing huge rooms filled with belongings like glasses, suitcases with names on them, mountains of shoes and cosmetics. Also, rooms filled with cans of Cyclone B that were used for killing in the gas chambers. Auschwitz I was set up more like a museum. There were rooms that showed what sleeping arrangements were like, along with bathing. A memorial wall was also made where men and women were lined up and shot. The gas chambers were undescribable. I wish I could tell you what I felt at that moment walking through these chambers, but the experience is one I can't even figure out how to wrap my feelings around. I remember looking up at the chamber ceiling, and the only light that was coming through was from the hole where the gas was dropped. Auschwitz II, Birkenau, had a really big impact on me. This was not set up like a museum. Instead, we actually walked through the buildings that were still standing where people had once been. One of the biggest parts that impacted me was standing on the famous train tracks that you see in books and movies and seeing the gate where the train entered. Knowing how many people got off and stood on the platform where I was standing was just impossible to wrap my mind around. One of the last sights I saw while touring Auschwitz was on a sign that stood on a location and said this: "On this site stood a wooden barrack where in 1944 more than 200 Jewish children between ages 2 and 16 were kept prisoners. These children, the majority of them twins, were used for criminal medical experiments by the SS doctor Joseph Mengele. This still today breaks my heart just as much as when I stood there and read that sign then." Touring Auschwitz is an experience I will never forget. And even though this is a sad experience, it was a very educational one as well. All my traveling experiences have impacted me in some way, and they have given me so many great memories. This journey I took you on with me is just a few of my experiences. I have so much to share in other stories, and I can't wait to expand on these more with even greater traveling experiences.